Good morning. I was sitting here. I was just grooving to the beat back here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Dr. T. I know it is early. I know, but you know what? I need y'all to get up and wake up and smell the coffee. So this is going to be our forefront for July because I think that it's time for us now to wake up. And so I want to introduce myself. I am Dr. T.O.D. I'm a optometrist by trade, but I'm also a student in seminary, as well as many other hats that I play: a mom, a wife, very active in church. But I created Coffee with Dr. T for a moment for us to be able to really connect, reflect, and get our day going and even into the next week. And so, as I told you guys in January, that we were going to shift and add some biblical concepts in here as well. And so that is how we're going to continue on this platform. Again, Coffee with Dr. TOD was a brainchild of mine because my best friend and I, that is a time that we get together and chop it up and be together because of our weeks, with our daily lives. She's with work, and we both have a teenager, and life, right? Life. And so this is a time when we get up and spend our mornings together to just kind of encourage one another, listen, reflect, and just lean on each other as we are living this thing called life, right? And so what I wanted to talk about today was, making sure everything that we talk about also is related to mindset. I'm trying to find my stuff, you guys. Everything we do is related with mindset and just the power of you. I think when we started this, that was one of the series that we started last year, and I may bring that back toward the end of the year. So wake up and smell the coffee. So let's go over some things. First, today, what I want to go over is our scriptural foundation, right? Our scriptural foundation can be found in James 1:22 and Luke 11:9. Be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. And I tell you, Luke 11:9, and I tell you, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you shall find, knock and it will be open to you. And so when I was looking at these passages today and thinking of how can I, as I'm studying, how can I add value to what I'm trying to say as it pertains to wake up and smell the coffee. And so the first thing that came to mind is sometimes when we're in this walk of life, especially as Christians, we're not always doers of the words, and we're not always hearers. We're hearers, but we're not doers. And so sometimes with that, there is a deception that's in place when we're thinking that we're doing the things. Let me go back. When we think that we are doing what we're supposed to be doing as Christians. And so the Bible clearly states here in James 1:22, but be doers of the words and not hearers only. See, sometimes we get so into that we come to church and we hear the word, but are we actually doing what we are supposed to be doing? I know that the Great Commission states that, once we are saved, that, that it is up to us to continue to build the kingdom, baptize, and spread the gospel. There's other things in there on how to live your life, right? And so are you doing what you're supposed to be doing as Christians, or are you just hearing and not doing? And then with the third part, you're deceiving yourself if you think that if you can only hear and not do. I'm going to say that again. You are deceiving yourself if you think that if you're only going to hear and not do. See, sometimes you also have to also listen to those inner things that's inside you, or that we would say that it's the Holy Spirit, to kind of listen to those things. And so I'm reminding today, when I say wake up and smell the coffee, I'll go into the next one, because wake up and smell the coffee. Wake up and smell the coffee. When we say wake up and smell the coffee and use that term, it's usually used when someone that they are when they're trying to tell you that you're wrong about a particular situation, and you must realize what is really going on, right? And so that's what people say. Wake up and smell the coffee. This is not going right in your life. This is you're wrong. And how many times do you tell that either you've been told that you were wrong, or vice versa, that you're telling somebody else that they're wrong and they're not even listening to you? They're not even um, really respecting what you have to say. And so you get to the term wake up and smell the coffee because this is a urgent matter. This is something that really needs to be attended to. And so wake up, if we're going to say wake up is an action, and that you need to realize the situation or take action to change a situation. You see? So wake up and smell the coffee is realization, having somebody to realize that, hey, I need you to realize this. And then with the first part, with wake up, is listen, take action to change, right? Take action to change. And so then it also is the process of doing something, especially when the situation, the scenarios, or the problems can be difficult. So wake up and smell the coffee is just a synopsis of saying, hey, let's think about this, let's do this, let's try to take action. And so sometimes, we feel as though that we're in this human body that we have, or this mindset that we have, and our feelings kind of get in the way. But the word is really clear. The word is really clear. And if you go to Luke 11:9, and my life verse is Matthew 6:33, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. It kind of ties in with Luke 11:9, when it says, I tell you, this is what Luke is saying, I tell you, or that I tell you, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you shall find, knock and it will be open to you. Here in this text, these are actions. These are actionable things. He's telling you to take action. These are action steps. And I tell you, that's an action, and it will be given to you, right? Seek, that's an action. And what happens after you seek, you will find. Knock, that's an action. What happens after you knock, it will be open to you. So when we're saying wake up and smell the coffee, it is a time to say, here I am, wake up and smell the coffee, or I need you to pay attention to this. I need you to look at this and that, so that we can realize that there's a particular situation that needs to be attended to. All right, that was that. You got that? Put something in the chat. Let me know if that's what if you are feeling that, right? Are you feeling that? So now, when we're talking about that, when we're evoking that smell of coffee. So this is Coffee with Dr. T. Did you smell your coffee this morning? Did you taste your coffee this morning? Did you visualize coffee? And so what am I talking about? I'm talking about the senses. And so when we are talking about wake up and smell, right? Wake up. I went over the action. Now it's smell, right? Smell, our God given senses. And smell here, right? Your nose is the thing that helps with smell. But God made us an amazing body, right? So smell and memory kind of go together. And so I went on to Harvard and with their science lab, and it basically says smell and memory seem to be so closely linked because of the brain's anatomy. And this is by a Harvard professor and scientist, Venkesh Murtha, of Venkesh Murtha, Raymond Leo Erickson of the Life Sciences professors and the chair of Department of the Molecular and Cellular Biology. Right. And so with smell, what they're saying is that in their discovery that the olfaction, which is in your brain, and they did a study on smell and society. And so basically, what they are saying is that smells are handled by the olfactory bulb and the structure in the front of the brain that sends information to other areas of the body, the central command for further processing. So odors take a direct route to us, including that in the brain, and then it relates to what? Emotions and memory, right? And so that's why when you think about how some people may like the smell of coffee and some may not like the smell of coffee, right? And so that's why when people are saying, "Ooh, I got to have my coffee in the morning," don't knock them, because some may just, even that smell can just invigorate them and create a sense of calm or a sense of pleasantry um, to start their day. And so think about it. Most people want to have a cup of coffee in the day because they either want that, or for some it's just a smell of coffee that will push them through their day. Okay. And let's even do another thing. Studies also have said that coffee, or the smell of coffee, can boost your brain power. Hello. hmm So I know, now, parents, I know I've seen some kids that's drinking coffee too young. Don't do that. However, maybe the smell of coffee can help them, right? Or coffee flavored ice cream. I don't know, but having that caffeine is just not always good for kids. However, studies claim that smell and coffee may help to achieve a higher test score. Didn't know that. So that's a little thing for you guys today. So listen, I love coffee and I love the smell. But we had gone to a church 2 years ago. And one of the things that I noticed, that environment had a particular smell, and each campus had the same smell. So that's what I was like, I need to research this. And so this is your sense, the particular smells that you have, if you have a pleasant smell or a smell that you like, can invoke a shift in mindset. It can evoke pleasantry or regular emotions. It can evoke memory. And so, what they were doing was when you went to service, that smell and that service or that message was kind of put all together so that you can remember what was going on in that particular service. So isn't that creative, right? That was creative. So I want you to now say, let's wake up and smell the coffee. All right. So let's go into that mindset shift for today. That mindset shift for today. I had it up, now I lost it. So there are 4 warnings that it's time to change your mindset. And so when negative beliefs and assumptions start to consume you, you then will undoubtedly be unhappy. That's why I'm saying wake up and smell the coffee in your life. However, if you have a positive mindset, then you will live a happier life. Ultimately, our perceptions, our realities, and actively changing, and our differences, can go up and down. And so, a negative mindset will cloud your judgment, make it difficult to tell when negative thoughts are outside of ourselves, right? Or part of the inner psyche. If you find that negative thoughts are constantly surrounding you, it's time to change your mindset. And here are four signs that it's time. So it's time. Wake up, smell the coffee. So sign number 1: you consistently focus on what's wrong instead of what's positive. So if you're constantly, focusing on what's wrong, um, you know, it affects your life. So do you tend to fixate on your worries and disappointments rather than focusing on the things that are going right in your life? Like we can sometimes, because we're focusing so much on negative things, that we forget about the positive things that's going on in our lives. And so it just seems like everything is negative. And so this is a sure sign that your current mindset is contaminated or full of garbage or full of the negative garbage in your head. And so while there may be a lot of bad things happening at the moment, like we're coming out of this pandemic, right? There's so many things that's going on with that, and gun violence in the city, and death, and just people losing their jobs that happen. But now it's time to wake up and smell the coffee and realize that we can take action to come out of this. And so chances are that there are at least some aspects of our lives that are going well. So to shift your thinking from one of the negativity to positivity, take some time to be thankful for the good things that are in your life, no matter how small. And so sometimes we get so bogged down in thinking negative, and because this might be something big, but even the small things add up. The small things add up. And so shifting that for that sign 1 to constantly focusing on wrong things versus focusing on the positive. So that's sign number 1, that you need to wake up and smell the coffee and start that shift. Sign number 2, you forget to celebrate your victories, right? When you don't take time to celebrate the moment when something goes your way, it's because you don't believe it's your victory. You think that it is a concealing or the seeds of failure, right? And so let me go back. You think that it is concealing the seeds of failure. And then when you do this, you are sending yourself a negative message that you will always fail, and that you can't celebrate your victories because they are nothing more than future failures in disguise. See, so many times we get caught up in failures that we forget again to celebrate victories. We live this life, there's going to be failures, but in order to keep going, you have to learn from them. But if we're constantly stuck on I failed, I failed, I failed, you will never see the victory. You will never see when you won. You will be so blinded by the failures that you will never see when you've won. Okay. And so that's sign number 2. Celebrate the victories, no matter how big or how small, just celebrate them. Sign number 3. So you don't want to face the truth. Continually complaining about reality isn't going to change a thing. When you complain about everything, it's nothing more than a refusal to acknowledge and accept the truth that there's just things that you cannot change. Not everything in your life is something that you can control, and refusing to see the world for what it is a huge mistake, because it means that you can no longer face the fact from fiction. So a lot of times we get so caught up in our own thought process that things have to go a specific way. Listen, I've come to the mindset there are just certain things that are out of my control. If I can't do it. Raise your hand if you believe that. There's certain things that are out of your control, i.e. this pandemic. That's out of our control. There's just certain things that are out of our control, and you need to have that mindset of saying, hey, you know what? I can't fix this. This is out of my control, or this is not in my wheelhouse. That's it. Or a particular person or a particular environment that you're in, it's out of your control. Right. And so one of those things need to kind of come down, and you need to understand that. You get angry. Sign number 4, you get angry when your expectations are not met. You are angered by unmet expectations. So if you always find that your expectations aren't being met, it's meant that your expectations may be unrealistic from the beginning. And our expectations are a large part of our mindset and are what we believe to be possible or necessary. So stop getting angry over stuff. Again, some things, you set yourself up, you want to do those goals, you want to put that in there, but you know what? Wake up and smell the coffee. Change your mindset, shift into a more positive mindset will help you grow. So changing your mindset isn't easy, but it's one of the most powerful things that you can do for yourself on your journey to success. Learning how to recognize a negative mindset is the first step to changing it. So listen, again, wake up and smell the coffee. It is so super important to understand how smell and how it affects your daily life. And so one of the things that I've gotten into is like essential oils. I'm developing a candle. Actually, we have samples. So if you're interested, DM me and I can send you a sample of one of our candles and test it out. See how it's helping you to shift your mindset. So again, this is your girl, Dr. T OD, with Coffee with Dr. T. I come on and I want to be able to inspire you to keep moving and to improve and help you focus, because you have the power to do so. The power is you. You have the power to do so. So I did not have on here, but it is above. Subscribe to our community. Subscribe to logiciscareinc.org. That's where we're eventually going to shift some things to house mostly everything in there and in the brand. And so that is going to be amazing. That's where the blogs are going to be. We're figuring out how to maybe even do some of the videos through there, so you'll get messages of when you can have access to the videos if you miss any of the lives. So yeah, I may start taking down the lives and putting them into that. So just trying to figure out the technology on how to do that. But again, This is your girl, Dr. T. Thank you for watching. I really, really am so excited for the new season 4 Coffee with Dr. T. Again, for the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about wake up and smell the coffee. And we're just going to talk about some of the things that you may need to start paying attention to and take action in your life. All right. Take care, you guys. And I will see you guys on the other side. Be blessed.